Hi Fasciway, thanks for your video. Here are a few points in response to some points that you made in your video. First of all, you say that corporations should be governed by representatives of workers and representatives of managers, and when negotiations break down, the executive steps in and makes a decision. But this assumes that the executive would never place its self-interest above the interests of the people. I much prefer the democratic model where instead of assuming that the leadership will be benign and impartial, the leadership is made directly responsible to the people, and so this way the interests of the leaders align more directly with the interests of the people. You say they, the corporate leadership, are not permitted to make decisions that would be deemed unhealthy for the nation. Deemed by who? Again, the issue of ensuring leaders act in the interests of the people rather than to affirm their own power. This is never addressed by fascist ideology, and I think that's because it doesn't have an answer. You say the leader is held responsible, held accountable. You say that a couple of times. How exactly? Do they hold themselves responsible to themselves? An executive with supreme power, answerable to no one, this is practically the definition of fascism, if history is anything to go by. You say that opposition parties are banned because they infect the population with dissent. How is government accountability maintained when there is nobody to hold the government to account? In what sense is a government responsible to its people when its people cannot even express dissent? So in conclusion, I'd say yes, democracy is messy. It's almost anarchistic in the way it allows the competition between different interests. But this is the point. Democracy acknowledges the reality that human beings act in their own self-interest most of the time. So the interests of the leaders are made dependent through the democratic process. The interests of the leaders are made dependent upon answering the real needs and concerns of people. But fascism denies this reality about humans acting in their self-interest, and it assumes that the leader who has ultimate power, unlimited power, will never abuse it. And we see where that assumption can lead. A democratic leader says, "Tell me what you want," and a fascist leader says, "Trust me, I know what's best for you." And I think that's ultimately the difference between them.